get some sleaze and move on to another topic. Celebrity Sleaze is presented by McDonald's. Best part about working at McDonald's is the people.
Well, let's get back into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. A couple of other highlights. Here he was, just a preaching Tom Morello, inducting one of his favorite bands, MC5.
The MC5 crystallized 60s counterculture movement at its most volatile and threatening. They were as bold and as musically adventurous as experimental jazz, as militant and as stylish as the Black Panther Party, and as loud and as dangerous as a Detroit riot. But perhaps their greatest accomplishment was that the MC5 in sound and in attitude laid the cornerstone for one of rock's most exciting and important genres. Before the Ramones, before the Sex Pistols, before the Clash, there was the MC5, inventing the template of raw power and irreverent attitude that became punk rock.
That was great. Thank you, Tom Morello. You know, I didn't mention this the other day, but remember they had the Victoria's Secret fashion show, and all the old models, ex-models were up there, and everybody looked amazing. More people were excited about seeing one person, and that was Cher. And Cher was so good on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Of course, she got inducted. Here's Zendaya inducting Cher.
Thank you, Cher. Thank you for being an advocate, for being an ally, for paving the way for so many humans of all kinds to live in and speak their truth, and to have the courage to be as daring and as open-hearted as you. Cher once said, "You should never be inhibited by what people expect you to do." And those are words I hope we can all learn to live by.
I thought it was funny when Dave Matthews went up to give his speech. How did he not know that he was going to have to give a speech? Because he goes up and he's like, I thought it was my day off.
Was he trying to be funny?
I don't know, because his sense of humor is very dry. I guess.
Well, I wanted to play a little of Cher because she actually had something funny to say, but here's Cher accepting her big honor.
My life has been just a roller coaster, and the one thing that I have never done is I never give up. I never give up. And I'm talking to the women. I'm talking to the women, okay? You guys are on your own. We've been down and out, and we keep striving, and we keep going, and we keep building, and we are somebody.
And Barnes, she went on to say that it was easier divorcing her two husbands than getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So there you have it. Wow, the two guys, that have played the Menendez brothers, Eric and Lyle, they're all over the place. Well, Cooper Koch, talking a little bit about what's next for him, and it could be American Psycho.
Things are coming in, things are moving, things are happening, taking meetings. The needle is threading. So we'll see. Nothing's locked in or happening yet. So Luca's doing American Psycho. So, I think I could do Patrick Bateman. Don't you think? Right? And I haven't played a serial killer yet, so I think I could do it.
I think from his looks, he could do it. What a great movie.
He hasn't played a serial killer, he's played a killer.
But the acting right. In that, some of it. Did you think the acting was really great? There
were parts that were kind of weird to me, but all in all, I liked it, but I really liked the documentary better. CBS Sunday Morning, relatives of Eric and Lyle Menendez, the real Menendez brothers, ramped up public support for them. Listen to this.
Lyle and Eric were failed by their parents. The whole world was not ready to believe boys could be raped.
92-year-old Joan Vandermolen is the sister of Kitty Menendez, who, along with husband Jose, were murdered in their Beverly Hills home by their sons in 1989.
The desperate response of two boys trying to survive the unspeakable.
Eric and Lyle Menendez had always claimed the murders were self-defense, arguing they were victims of constant physical and emotional abuse by both parents and sexual abuse by their father. They were found guilty of first-degree murder in 1996.
The system failed them so profoundly.
New evidence which may corroborate the abuse allegations is being reviewed. The DA's office released a statement saying that it is dedicated to a thorough and fair process and has since developed a more modern understanding of sexual violence since the Menendez brothers first faced prosecution. A court date has been set for November 26th.
If Lyle and Eric's case were heard today, there is no doubt in my mind that their sentencing would have been very different.
I do know I finished the documentary, by the way, the one with them talking in it.
Yeah, and going back to the original trial, they really got screwed over on that second trial.
Yeah, I didn't know a lot of that.
I didn't either.
So it did bring a lot to the surface that I had. Now, the first one, the 8-episode thing, I did have to Google a lot.
With monsters, yeah.
Yeah, to see what was true and what was false. But a lot of the stuff they brought up, I had no idea.
And I didn't know about the second trial that, they didn't bring up the molestation charges. I had no idea about that.
That just seems like such a big piece. Like how that stuff couldn't have been in the original trial as much as we're hearing now.
Rosie O'Donnell's daughter faces felony child neglect and drug possession charges.
What?
Yes, this is crazy. This is her eldest daughter, Chelsea Bell O'Donnell, arrested in September. The mom of 4, she's 27 years old, was first booked in jail on September 10th. And then, are you ready for this? Multiple felony counts: neglecting a child, possession of meth, maintaining a drug trafficking place. And this is all according to court papers. Also charged with 4 misdemeanors. Sadly, this is not new for our family. This is what the family stated. Chelsea has struggled with drug addiction for a decade. We are all hopeful she will find her way out of this deadly disease.
What took so long for that to get out? That's surprising that it
happened in September and now it's just coming out.
Yeah, September 10th.
Yeah, and then she, I guess, was booked later, October the 11th, where she is still in custody. Sad news if you're an Oasis fan, Barnes. Netflix is not releasing a documentary. This story came out. I was all excited. Netflix is going to do this documentary. Now, Liam Gallagher has confirmed that the band will not be participating in a documentary about their reunion. He said, I'm not going to be in it anyway. I'm doing the gigs. That's enough. That's enough. This is all that needs to be said about the band.
Well, they'd need translators. Well, they do have subtitles because nobody would be. It'd be like watching one of those shows that you're like, oh, it's another one. They hook you in with the great trailer and then it's all in another language. But them, it's just British gibberish.
Yeah. Do you remember that behind the music? Like, I had to turn on the subtitle thing.
Yeah, it's tough.
See what I'm saying? Jennifer Lawrence, pregnant, expecting baby number 2 with her husband, Cook Maroney. I'm a big fan of hers.
Well, I love her. Who is Cook Maroney? Is he a regular dude or is he an actor?
I don't think he's an actor.
No, I've never heard of him.
Snoop is the man of the people, Barnes. I don't know if you saw this, but Snoop recently joined Al Roker to do a little weather.
I thought it was funny. I couldn't believe they had him on there for 4 hours. I don't know if that was a contractual obligation that they need. It was almost like too much. But they did put a lot of prep into doing the weather, and I wasn't expecting it to go this route because think of who their audience is. Morning television. But they went there, and it was pretty funny.
Al, it's 57 degrees in Mary Jane Falls, Nevada?
That's right.
And then I heard it was going to be 56 degrees in Stoner, Colorado.
That's right.
84 degrees in Blunt, South Dakota.
That's right.
Sliding on down to this area right here, above the average highs. 70 degrees in Roach, Missouri. You understand me? We stayed lucky in Kentucky. It's going to be 60 as we blaze in Blaze, Kentucky. You dig?
Hell yeah.
And over here, we got Pottsville, Pennsylvania, where it will be 60 degrees. And down low on the go, 61 degrees at High Point. Get that, High Point, North Carolina.
That's what's going on around the country, in Snoop's country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Come on now.
That's called when you commit to the bit, because they did not bail.
I do believe you, though. Like, that sounded more like a late night thing than a morning show, right?
Well, it probably went over most of those viewers, 78-year-old women watching were like, what's he talking about?
Thank you, Snoop. That is your Celebrity Sleaze.